Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzonga, bringing you up to speed with the big happenings in politics and in the polity at midday. Let's begin with the headlines. Nigeria and Brazil sign agreement to commence direct flights between the two nations to strengthen economic and diplomatic relations. Leading opposition People's Democratic Party zones presidential ticket to the South ahead of 2027, announced Umar Damagum as substantive chairman of the party ahead of the party's national convention. The life member of the PDP Board of Trustee, Chief Bode George, joins me on the program to x-ray the progress and prospects of the PDP ahead of the convention and 2027. Thanks again for joining us on the program where we give you all access pass to what's happening in politics and in the polity. And a lot has actually happened in the last, say, 24 to 48 hours in the polity. But let's get started with what happened outside Nigeria with some positive development, especially for those who are tired of layovers whenever they travel to Brazil due to lack of direct flight. Well, that will soon be history, given the signing of an agreement between Nigeria and Brazil to commence direct flights across both nations to strengthen diplomatic and economic ties. In a statement by the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, the bilateral airspace service agreement known as BASA was signed during President Bola Tinubu's two-day visit to Brazil. Mr. Tunde Mushut, Special Advisor on Media and Communications to the Aviation Minister, said the signing ceremony took place while President Bola Tinubu and President Bola Tinubu was hosted by Lula Inácio da Silva in Brazil. The Nigerian president traveled with top government officials, including Ministers of Finance, State for Foreign Affairs, Aviation, Agriculture, among others. I can also tell you that the People's Democratic Party in Taraba State has insisted on its dominance in the party and says that Taraba belongs to the PDP and PDP is Taraba, telling every other person within the party not to be cowed into joining any other party. Let's listen to the chairman of the party in Taraba State.
I want to say this. There are so many people that are introducing new political parties. Please, they are late, and I don't want you to join latecomers. PDP is solid. PDP is formidable. PDP is your home. So do not make mistake to go anywhere outside PDP, because Taraba is PDP, PDP is Taraba.
Okay, let's talk about the bigger party now, talking about the national. The NEC held yesterday, that's the People's Democratic Party National Executive Committee meeting held yesterday, where very key decisions were made, one of which was the zoning of the presidential ticket to the South and naming Umar Damagum as the substantive chairman. And there were remarks being made by Mr. Damagum, Bala Mohammed, who is the chairman of the People's Democratic Party's Governors Forum, as well as the remarks or the outcome of the executive session that was held behind closed doors. Let's take a listen to them.
All to be inspired by the spirit of our founding fathers, we must protect our previous hard-fought democracy, challenging all anti-people policies and by resisting any form of intimidation from the APC, because we shouldn't expect them to play fair.
We have had some remote information that some of our party leaders at the state level may be penetrated by security agencies so that they can cause disaffection. So please, We must remain united.
NEC received and after extensive deliberations approved the report of the National Convention Zoning Committee, which recommended as follows: that the position of the national chairman having been retained in the northern region of the country, the presidential candidate of the party for the 2077 general election is hereby zoned to the southern region.
Let me bring in my guest, an elder statesman, the life member of the PDP Board of Trustees, Chief Bode George, joins me from our Bode George studios. Chief, good morning and welcome to the... Good afternoon, I should say. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to discuss my party with the public. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You embody literally the party. Everybody can see that you love this party and you want it to survive. So let's walk through. You know, you are literally the reason I like to talk with you when it comes to issues around your party. I don't think there's any room in the party where you do not sit. So you have access to places some of us do not have access to, and even other party members do not have access to. But what we can speak to is the outcome of what happens in the multiplicity of the rooms. What really happened that this decision was eventually made about zoning almost 2 years before the election and the decision to retain Umar Damagao as substantive chairman?
Yeah. Now, let me be very clear here. You know, no matter how long a load of lies keep flying, it doesn't take time when the truth is said that will catch up and leave it behind. I'm so happy. First of all, I must thank our young governors, you know, who are like my political sons to me, that they saw the truth, they listened to the truth. We brought on the table all the procedures as stated by the founding fathers. What gave PDP a better leverage amongst Nigerians? You know, if you look at our country, we are still a country. We are not yet a nation. Why? Because there are two evils that bedevil this country since the British left: tribalism and religious bigotry. And our party, the founding fathers, came together, you know, led by Papa Alexei Kweme, divided Nigeria into 5 geopolitical zones and to 6 geopolitical zones. And 6 top powers, positions in the land, 6 top positions. Because you cannot be a member of any organization if you cannot contribute because you are a minority. In the First Republic, majority had their way, minority were onlookers. Second Republic, the same thing. That's why they collapsed. And we kept on going until they brought this new concept. And it is not novel, because that is what is done in Switzerland. There are 3 major groups in Switzerland: the Italians in Lugano, the French in Geneva, and the Germans in Zurich. They rotate. It's turn by turn. So there's no question of a group, because you are minority, you have no commitment. The more we all work together, the better for us. That's all we were saying. General Buhari ran the nation. He was in another party. He's from Castina, ran the nation for 8 years. By the definition of our own system, then it is the turn of the South to run the country for another 8 years. That last convention, that was how the hula baloo just blew up on our eyes. Some of us who had been part of the system from 1998 said, no, you can't do it. You cannot do it. You are manipulating the system. We went into a terrible crisis. But I said to people, said the day the truth will be told, everything will come back to normal. And I must, emphatically thank all our governors. They are really responsible and respectable young men. They gathered together in Gusau, held a meeting, told themselves the truth, examined the facts, and came up to say, look, there is no question of chairman and president being in the same zone. So they came back and reported that, look, let's go back to the way we were. And I want to thank every other member who sat at that meeting. Unanimously, we agreed that for the next 4 years, to complete the 8 years in the South, there's nothing sacrosanct about that. These are just factual. But human beings, they manipulate, they want to get the thing, and it's nothing but self-centeredness. You know what I concluded yesterday? That this existential imbecility has ended, and that is the end of manipulation in our party. We are back. I was happy. Some of those who went to ADC are already back. Some of them came to the meeting yesterday. We didn't ask them. We didn't, they have probably have sensed that the only way forward is to do what is just, what is right, and what is equitable. That's the principle of our party.
All right, Chief.
It's a refreshing gallop to see us come together as one indivisible members of this party. Because the more a divided house, it will remain a defeated house. We are going to get back, and let me just clear here, Damagun was also honored because he was the manager, the chief manager, when you ran away. For 3 years, bashing him, bastarding him, and pushing him and kicking him in all sides. But we thank God that he was able to absorb it, and we must congratulate him. And to honor him, the party decided, yesterday that, look, let's give the acting chairman the full chairmanship so that he is being honored until the next convention will come, which will come up in November. And for those of us at the 8th floor of life, I thank the Almighty God that in my lifetime, what these old men predicted, what they planned, what they executed, we are back now on the route to justice, fairness, and equity. Because in the Holy Book, what you are told, love your neighbor as yourself. What you will not accept, don't do it to anybody else. Those are the lessons we have learned. And we are back. We are back. We are going to ensure we are going to move Nigeria from just being a country to a real nation. Because there's a hell of a lot of difference between just being a mere country and being a nation. Look at our position. Look at our position in Africa. We liberated South Africa.
I pray time allows us, Chief, so that we can come to the issue of governance. But I need to throw in a few more questions, if you can hear me, Chief. It's great to see that a few things are aligning. So what I mean by that is there was a contention for a long time over national secretary position that has been rested. Now the issue of whether or not the PDP will be clear on where they are headed, so in terms of whether they will throw it open again or they will zone it, and now they've zoned it like we were used to the PDP before they left power. But there are bigger issues, or perhaps another set of issues that I would like you to speak to. And that has to do with the loud suspicion in the room. Within your party, you have people that are playing the game of PDP, APC. Within your party, you have people that are playing the game of APC, PDP, ADC. And then people that worked against the party even in 2023, now at the vanguard of trying to unite the party. So there's a loud suspicion. I'm talking Sheyi Makinde, I'm talking Nyesom Wike, I'm talking every other person within the space. Now, Atiku Abubakar is out of the room, so that is a non-issue. So how are you dealing with the loud suspicion when in going forward? How do you want to manage that?
You know, there were some people within the room who wanted us to take the big hammer to smash those who have spoken against the norms of the party, demonizing the party, and you know, with the clarity of mind and the softness, because being a political party, you will have all kinds of characters, and your ability to manage those characters will impact positively on the minds of those who are not card-carrying members, the electorate, because the final decision is theirs. So we want them to see that we can be accommodating. You can disagree without being disagreeable. We've given these characters a bit of more time. We still have one more convention, one more NEC meeting before the National Convention in November. And if these people cannot roll back and fall in line, then the sledgehammer will be brought on them. All we were asking for before, during that convention that was manipulated, they totally disrespected the rules of the party. Section 7, subsection 3C is extremely clear in our own constitution. There shall be rotation and of elective offices and party offices for the purpose of justice, fairness, and equity. That is what we have re-established. That was yesterday, we re-established that. And if you play the games, you follow the rules. If you follow those rules, then if you don't like the hell out of the it's not a Berlin Wall. Even the Berlin Wall eventually collapsed. So respect the rules as stated by the founding fathers. And if you come to a meeting like ours, you make out your point, you state your mind, and if the majority of the people still say no, then you, as a gentleman, you accept it. Now, those who are playing games and those who have gone to the APC, they've started to see the light. Even those who went with ADC, I saw some of them back yesterday at the party meeting, and I was happy. The others will see, as we roll on towards the National Convention, it will be seamless, it will be civilized, it will remind us of the days that we started. The first convention, the elective convention we had was in 1999. I was privileged to have been appointed, to be elected as the National Vice Chairman Southwest. And we knew what these old men went through. We sold that to Nigerians and they bought it. So personalization, greed, avarice, and self-centeredness entered into the game because you just want to be me, me, me. You what? Nobody, no individual. Our party is not owned by one single person. Unlike the other party, you had President Tinubu telling his people, I own the party. So who owns the key? Those who are jumping ship and going there, and you are from our party, you will see the major differences between the way we manage ourselves and the only single person who manages the APC. There is still room for them to come back home. They said we should still give them time to now ruminate on it, think about it, and then make a decision. But after the convention, and we have new sets of managers of the party, that's it. Some have started to trickle back.
My apologies, Chief. I understand we need to take a quick break.
Some of the states that shipped themselves there are already seeing the handwriting.
Okay.
Yes.
Chief, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, one of the things I want to find out from you, maybe two in one, is how this decision of the PDP is being interpreted by other opposition and the polity in general. Join us again in just a moment. We'll be right back. Welcome back. My guest is an elder statesman. He's a member of the Board of Trustees, life member of the Board of Trustees of the PDP, speaking to the decision of the party. Chief, thanks for staying with us. We have about 5 minutes. Let's see how much we can take within this time. So I was talking about the reaction to the decision. Some have said you've shown your cards way too early. In fact, we're speaking with the spokesperson of the ADC. He said the decision to start zoning 2 years before the election, and even party like APC endorsing the president, clearly the APC and the PDP, in his view, pushing for anti-people action. That is the time to focus on governance. Others are saying that the APC has baited the PDP with that endorsement to see what the PDP will do, and the PDP has fallen for it. Others have interpreted to be the decision of the PDP is to woo persons like Peter Obi into the party. There's so many mixed messaging. What do you make of this reaction?
This is, yeah. You know, I think that falls on his face. We are trying to get ourselves back to the original concept that established the party. They are saying we are trying to play games, play war games. What drove the ADC people out of the party? What happened at the last convention we had? The presidential convention. That was where we completely left the route of justice, fairness, and equity and headed into hell. Having been brought back means there are still people, and I said I want to congratulate our sitting governors. They're young men. They sat back, they told themselves the story, how it all started, and they said, yes, we missed our own route because of personalization. You can't personalize PDP. No individual owns it. And I am extremely grateful to them that, you know, some of us have been howling and shouting and talking, and so we are back to the precinct of what is expected of our party. And from now on, 4 more years of the presidential candidature in the South. And who is talking about we cannot, we are undermining Obi or this or that? Are you saying there are not competent people in the South that can handsomely handle this nation effectively and impact positive actions on the people of this country? For now, there is hunger in the land and there is anger in the land. Everywhere you went, the only thing now you will say, oh yeah, they said the economic indices, oh, our deposit has gotten to about 41 point something dollars. What is the exchange rate? What is the price of the fuel? The political indices also are not healthy. What kind of game are we playing? I grew up in this country. I went to school in this country. When our party was in power, we knew what we did to put a smile on the faces of Nigerians. Right now, who is happy? This is when the campaign starts. By the end of this year, you know, we have some elections next year, and the election it just doesn't start. We have already passed the midterm, so by December we should start to see serious politics coming up. And that's why we prepared ourselves to have a seamless national convention. We elect new managers, and we will make a plan. You don't go to war by starting a day before the war. No. We go back to our tactical table. We look at the differences. Those who have jumped ship now, you can see what is happening to them.
Okay.
They met competitors in
Chief,
ADC.
I just want to throw in
so
my apologies,
what are
Chief.
they doing?
Yes, I just have a minute more.
APC.
Yes, I just have a minute more. I just want to throw in this straight question to you. Now that the PDP has done what it has done, should Nigerians trust your party? In 1 minute.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know why? Yes, there is no organization in the world that will not have crisis. But the ability to close ranks, to lock the doors, tell yourself some home truths, and come up with a solution. That is a measure of our competence. I am happy that from now, by the grace of the Almighty God that I serve, we are back on the track of justice, fairness, and equity. And we will do everything that is humanly possible to bring back the smile on the faces of Nigerians.
All right.
This is the real PDP.
Yeah, okay.
People's Party. We will ensure that Nigerians be happy after these next sets of elections. I have no doubt about that. I'm happy we are back on the track. Yes. And those who are still playing selfishness, I wish them the best of luck.
All right, Chief, I must thank you so much for coming through and for your time and patience, as always, whenever I will call on you. I was just thinking, I was just processing in my head, if I was to do a headline from this conversation for you, it would be, "We are back," because the number of times you used that word today on the program. I wish you the very best. I wish your party the very best. Chief Bode George is a member of the Board of Trustees.
Thank you.
Life member of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Joining us from our Abuja studios. Thank you. And that's it on the program. Thank you for your time and, of course, your usual company. I'm Jeffrey Uzonga. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.